if you're single, stop scrolling. Watch this. A woman, stop. If you're a man, a human being on this planet. Even if you're an alien or so hypnotized that you've turned into a robot. Watch this, because maybe there's an opportunity to snap out of this cognitive dissonance and brain fog. There are people out there speaking on your behalf, on my behalf, for all women, for all men. So you might want to know, if you've never heard of these particular people who are speaking on your and my behalf without maybe your consent. Hey, what's up? I'm Leah. The reason I care so much about educating you on this is because I have just been educated on this. For the past 20 years, it's taken me to come out of cognitive dissonance, and maybe together we can change the paradigm so that no more Gabby Petito situations happen. See, abusers are trying to normalize abuse. So then somebody like Gabby Petito gets involved, first relationship, in a very abusive situation, doesn't know the signs, is trying to be submissive, and gets their life taken away. So this is very serious. There is a ton of gravity to it. Another way somebody can have their life taken away is because they spend their entire life being abused, physically, emotionally. They can turn to drugs, alcohol. It is so insidious, this type of abuse, that it can be out in the open the way that these people are doing it. And people are adhering and going, yes, that's normal. If I want to be with somebody, I must be abused. And it was me, and I'm so sorry, and I'm wrong. This is very dangerous thinking. So just by you having awareness of this can save a life. It's really important. We need all of us talking about this. If you really care about kids, if you really care about humanity, this would be a concern to you. Not just if you've had this experience. I have a daughter. This is of concern to me. We have to stop the narcissist pandemic. And we can only stop it with knowledge and awareness. And stop by stopping fueling it. Okay, so let's continue. It's my intention by the end of this video that you'll feel a sense of relief if you're single, and if you're not single, at least you'll know the people that are speaking on your behalf and whether you want to sign up. I'm going to help dispel some myths, some fears that maybe have been instilled in you consciously or subconsciously. And by the end, my intention is that you'll feel some freedom from this cognitive dissonance and brain fog, gaslighting, right? And now I'm going to tell you what they think. But I'm only reciting what they've already said they think. So I'm not dictating that they should think the way I think, which is what they're doing. That's the difference. I'm going to run through what these red pill narcissists are teaching and why it's important for you to know, especially if you're single, because you might run into one of these people and you'll understand better the playbook. Otherwise, you might be blindsided, and it could cost you a lot of time and even your life. Because what this really is a battle against narcissism. So we're talking about a lot of times people who are doing tit for tat, whether it's male or female. It's like, well, you were awful and mistreated me and were dishonest, so then I have a right to abuse you, and then you abuse me and I have a right to abuse you. And it's this whole cat and mouse thing. But see, if you don't want to play in that paradigm, this is a powerful opportunity, because that maybe is not your paradigm. Maybe you've been sucked into that paradigm somehow and gaslit into thinking, well, this is just the world. And that's how it can cost a life. Somebody can end up in this abuse cycle forever, especially if everybody around them, if everybody around you is treating you in this manner, this might be a voice where you go, wait a second, that was my instinct, but now I just heard it through somebody else's voice. And that's the power of these videos. That's my intention, because when I hear my heart through somebody else's voice, I go, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. Okay, I'm not alone in that. There's power in that. That's why I'm speaking on this, because people have said in the comments even, I've heard that 1,000 times, but yet I just heard it for the first time when you said it. That's the power that you have. That's the power that I have when we come out of this cognitive dissonance into being gaslit and thinking that I have to adhere to your philosophy about the world or about anything. When you're being gaslit on someone else's perspective, it's very confusing when it couldn't be farther from the truth or reality. Number one thing that these red pill narcissists are teaching is that to get women, you must abuse them. And to be a feminine, wonderful, loyal, worthy woman, you have to be submissive and accept abuse. And number two, if you're over 23 as a female, you are leftover goods. You are damaged supply. See, this is why it's narcissistic thinking, because they even speak in terms of that. It's absolutely teaching narcissism. Whether these people are actually narcissists or not, this is narcissistic behavior. To say a woman after 23 is damaged goods if they're single. They also speak in terms of body count. This is all their own verbiage and everything. Body count means how many people a person has slept with. Okay, and in their philosophy, in their playbook, a man could be with 450, 1,000, whatever. And a woman is a whore if it's over 5 or maybe 0. Then they're damaged goods. Then they deserve abuse. And it doesn't matter what they've come from. And if a woman in particular, I'm using men and women because that's how they speak, and typically they speak in sweeping generalizations. That's how they can say what you think and how the world is, and this is how men think and this is how women think, in these broad sweeping generalizations, even though they try to use statistics to back it up, to make it seem factual, to gaslight, which we'll talk more about. But they say these sweeping statements because if a woman is single over 23, then basically she didn't succumb to a man in some manner, because any beautiful single person at that age is highly valuable and sought after. So if the woman didn't succumb, that's because she was believing in hypergamy and wanting something better, 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 and what they call chasing a Chad. Okay, I'm giving you all the verbiage if you don't know this world, because this is the underbelly. You have to understand this. And maybe you're one of these people who's like getting upset right now and going, yes, Leah, then you're masculine and we hate you. And so, okay. But stay with me here, because if you want to adhere to that and that's working for you and you're feeling in your body that that's your highest and best and your biggest service on the planet, then this really is not the video for you. But if you're like, there's something more, like there's something more to life than what this vibration of this paradigm of what these people are teaching. And if this is brand new for you, listen up, because you might run into one of these people and they're teaching it. They're teaching it to young people, to old people, to all people. And what they're really teaching is hate. They're teaching hate and devaluation. So number 2, anybody over 23 is damaged goods, woman. because you passed up, if you're over 23, you passed up all the guys who wanted you, and you chased the Chad who didn't want you because he could have anybody, because he's high value, because he's highly abusive. So because you were chasing Chad, you missed the nice guy. And so they're teaching guys not to be the nice guy down here, the simp, because you wanted Chad. So they're teaching people to be jerks. This is their whole philosophy, and punish you for ever wanting that. And now you're damaged goods, and they deserve to abuse you. So that's the whole setup, first of all. Then the next step of their hierarchy into abuse, a high value man, of course, is going to cheat and be with a lot of women, and they can lie and be rude and do whatever they want because that's high value. If they're making money, especially if they're tall, and any kind of attractiveness is about them. That was a weird sentence, but if they're attractive at all, then they're high value, which means they have a right to be highly abusive. And so their philosophy is that if all these low value garbage women are competing for this 1% of jerk guy, that you need to accept abuse. Now, under that structure, I agree with them, because you're playing to the lowest common denominator. If all you accept is abuse, all you will get is abuse. The place where they really gaslight you is into thinking that's high value. That is not high value. And thank God there's a lot of actually high value men that I know and that I've seen on other channels and in the world who totally disagree. Stop allowing them to gaslight you, or you gaslighting yourself into thinking that. Or like, oh yeah, a single mom is less value. Oh my gosh. A human being, a spirit, is no less value. Anybody teaching that, a child, a human being, is not less value. And they go, oh, but Leah, statistically, and it's really, it's true. I know people debate with me on this. Oh no, it's true, because you know, they just want a hot, young, you know, 19-year-old or somebody is way more high value. And again, what paradigm are you playing in? And does that feel good in your body? Because thank God, I know a lot of awesome people who so don't adhere to that. They do not adhere to that. Do you adhere to that? Because they're speaking on your behalf. They're trying to say all men are like this, all women are like this. And then a lot of times they use the worst case female, somebody who's being rude and abusive to the man, and so then the man's like, you deserve to be abused, and then the woman saying you deserve to be abused in some cases. And so really, this is just a case of the battle of the narcissists. Like, and they're trying to speak on all of our behalf. All men are like this, all women are like this. No guys, just narcissists. You guys just play together. What I keep saying, y'all just play together over there. That is not how all of us are. Do not speak for all of us. Do not speak for all of us. Okay? Red pill narcissists are like, oh, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And you're washed up, old Grandma Leah. Okay, that's fine. If that's the paradigm you're playing in, I don't want to play with you anyway. So maybe you're scared and you say, but Leah, I don't want to die alone. I'm just scared of dying alone. I hear that a lot. I hear that with clients I work with who've been in abusive situations. And now they're scared to be with anyone. They say, well, I just don't want to die alone. Have you ever felt that way? Because that's also a narcissist lie that they're telling you. They go for fear. They want you to either adore them, fear them, or hate them. That's what they want. They don't want you to be empowered and indifferent towards them. Because when you do that, you stop feeding them and they'll no longer exist. Then we'll actually evolve the planet. That's what I'm excited about. Or they'll just play together, because it's really the narcissist battle. So if we stop and say, wait, you're not speaking for all of us. You're not speaking for all women. You're not speaking for all men. Even with your statistics. Because I'm not, okay, then get out the entire graph chart, and beyond that anyway, we could talk quantum physics. It goes so much deeper than whatever they have statistically. But if we're just going to speak on basic general statistic terms the way that they love to, saying that the average man has a really tough time. The average man has a tough time with women. The average woman is just turning down men, so she deserves to be abused. People are being gaslit. A robot like Night of the Living Dead, you've succumbed to being an idiot when you've decided to give up your entire value to be like, oh, you're right, I'm not valuable as a human being. Oh, tell me what is valuable, person who looks so miserable. Teach me how to live. That's idiotic. I'm sorry. That is idiotic behavior. To learn from somebody who looks miserable, who feels energetically miserable, and have them teach you about how to find love in the world, how to be in relationship. You know when you really become powerful? All the ancient wisdom teachers speak on this. All the truly most successful in every way people that are on this planet, that are living, that have passed, they all say this. Is when you energetically are in line with your soul's mission on the planet. When you're being of service, when you live on purpose with purpose, and you are not attached to owning people, places, or things, and you are not attached to being owned by people, places, or things, that is slavery. We have come here to be free. When you learn that you can be free and release the shackles of the fear that narcissists and very narcissistic people, if not narcissists themselves, are teaching, is that you can have your own moral compass. You are dying alone. We are all dying alone. This fear that they're trying to put on you, that you're going to die alone, is a myth. Because everybody dies alone. Everyone came here alone, and everyone dies alone. This is a big party that we showed up at, and we are lucky enough to be here, and it is your job to remember who you are, which can either be that dark, heavy vibration of lack and limitation, or it can be this expansive vibration of connection and joy and true evolving. That is the battle right now. And the narcissists are coming up tenfold because they are catching on that you and I are catching on, and they can't have that because they will no longer exist when you really wake up. That if you stop feeding them, they will no longer exist. They survive off of you. They survive off of me. So they're trying to say that the average man is a lowlife. The average man doesn't make this certain amount of money. The average man doesn't look a certain way. The average man. So then they devalue men by trying to build them up. See, I don't believe in that. There's value in you. There is value in you. And you don't have to drag other people down and abuse them to find the value in you. Everyone has value in them. Everyone can snap out of this cognitive dissonance and that brain fog. I was at a hotel this past weekend and people were walking around like zombie people. Zombie people. People in walking trauma. People in cognitive dissonance. People sitting at dinner with their spouse just staring. Not happy to be with each other, but terrified to die alone. But together like this. Wake up, wake up, wake up. You can be fully here, all here, and not play into that paradigm. We all came here to this party. Enjoy the time while you're here. It's a great party. When you get to be in relationship with people, awesome. When people leave, awesome. When people come in, awesome. When they stay, it's a blessing. It's amazing. But don't hold on tight to an abusive situation because you're scared to die alone. What? Wait, you want an abusive person sitting there at your last breath? Really? You could be alone and so happy. This is when you get the magic superpower, is when you realize you're here at this party on your own. Whether you have kids, a spouse, friends, family, you're here on your own. Maybe then you appreciate your kids, spouse, friends, family, coworkers, people that you run into on the street. We're here at a party we were invited to. What kind of guest are you being here? What kind of host are you being here? What paradigm do you really want to play in while you're here? Truly. Forget statistics and all that, which actually, those statistics are really off base. They really are. But you're so much more than a statistic. You are so much more than any person trying to devalue you. Sometimes I get the philosophy of somebody trying to devalue to build you up, but in this case, they're not even trying to build you up. They just think people like this should be thrown away, discarded. That's why it's narcissistic behavior. And that's not everybody. So if they're not speaking on your behalf, stop playing in that paradigm. Stop feeding them. And if they are speaking on your behalf, great. Keep speaking that language so all the narcissists can find one another. Because you're not speaking for all of us. You really aren't. Men or women. There are so many good people on this planet. And you can be alone and happy. You could be alone and miserable. You could be with somebody and happy or with somebody and miserable. Those are your choices in life, period. It's not, I have to just be with somebody. Are you kidding me? You could be so awesome on your own. It's a myth and a lie that you're being told that it has to be this one way. But it also can be that way. But that's truly what it means. Don't settle for abuse. Does that mean you can still be in your feminine and make dinner and meet someone halfway and appreciate what a man can bring if you're a woman, or what a woman can bring if you're a man, and have the yin and yang? Of course. That's the beauty of life. That's human nature. That's people. That's people. The narcissists are trying to say it has to be one way or you don't deserve it. That's control. That's narcissism. This is a battle of narcissists and not. It really is. Look at everything in the world. That's what it is. You are about to have so much freedom right now. So much happiness and peace and freedom. When you don't succumb to the fear that they want to put you under, that they want to put me under, that you're going to be miserable without the abuse. No, you're not. You're going to be happy without the abuse, unless you stay in the trauma bond and cognitive dissonance. That's why we need to keep talking about it, and being in communities like this and commenting can be really powerful, because then you hear from people all over the world and you realize, wait, oh yeah, I'm not alone. Oh yeah, that's not, they're speaking on somebody else's behalf. Oh, it's all the narcissists trying to pretend and gaslight the rest of us into thinking that's how the whole world is. Oh, narcissists, touche. You guys are good, but no thanks. No thanks. We're not biting anymore. Right? We're done. That's what's so exciting. This is always yours. That's what it is to be a sovereign being. Narcissists want to convince you that to be sovereign means I need to choose to submit and be abused. That's really what it is. That's abusive behavior. One story on one of these red pill channels was like, this guy, one of the leaders, was talking about this girl who was really abusive to him. And so then he's like, so then I abused her back and I called her all these names and I abused. These are just two narcissists at play. Stop speaking for all of us. Please stop. Right? And let's wake up out of the cognitive dissonance, out of the brain fog. They're controlling so much of so much. But the exciting thing is so many people are waking up and going, nope, nope. I didn't sign up for that. I'm good. Thank you. So if you didn't sign up for that, thank you. Thank you. There is a different paradigm at play here, and this is an opportunity for a spiritual evolution. So if you're single, awesome. Be with self. Enjoy the party. Isn't this a great party? So what that you showed up alone? So what that you're going to leave alone? Everybody is. That's the illusion. Even people who are sitting there at the table, I'm in a couple. That's an illusion. That's what you came here to do? You can be with self, or you can be with somebody and have a great time with somebody. But the choice is yours. The choice doesn't have to be, I have to be this, or I'm not happy. That's not happy. What is that? Come on. What is that? Don't let them shame you into thinking that, hey, when I feel like good energy, I like that. I want more of that. That's not how the world works. Yeah, it is. If you want, that's how it is. And stop shaming yourself into thinking, if you want a partner, that's awesome. You can have a partner. You can have a partner. You'd have a partner tomorrow if you want. You don't have to choose abuse. You don't. I don't care what they're saying. That is such a lie. I don't care who you are. Even if you're the people that they say the average man is like lame, that is so insulting. And if you're any of those guys that is adhering to that, you really question yourself. Why are you thinking that way? You're better than that. You are so much better than that. Why are you playing to the lowest common denominator? What? Come on. Everyone deserves love. You don't have to be abusive and manipulative to get love, but you do have to find it here first. Otherwise, you're just going to play in that game. So I'm excited because narcissists, we're done. We're out. You guys play together.